G'day guys, Gundam Russ and Bentley back once again. Today we're going to be looking at my updated PS3 collection. It's been probably about a year since we did this collection update, just with the whole moving to this new house and everything else that's been going on. Just haven't had the time to do it, but today we're finally going to be checking out a bit over 700 games. It's around, I think when I did the count, it was 725, so it has gone up quite a bit since our last video. And I have found that there is a couple of missing titles in the collection, so they're somewhere in a box elsewhere, so probably the total is actually a lot higher than what it currently is, but nevertheless we've got to that 700 achievement mark, which is huge. And I will say as well that not everything is in perfect alphabetical order like I would like it to be, but that will be changing in the next couple of weeks and I'll make sure it's in perfect order. Alright guys, with that being said, let's jump in and check out the PS3 collection. So here's the PS3 collection in all its glory. On the left hand side there's quite a bit of room there for growth, always looking at the future, and on the right hand side it's quite beefed up at the moment. But very happy with how the collection has progressed over the last couple of years. Through this section here we have all of my Japanese and Chinese collection of games. At the top here we have Pixel Junk 3-in-1, which is probably one of the rarest games I have in my collection. This one a pretty cool one. It was a triple pack that came out where the profits of the pack went to Games Aid charities, which is pretty awesome. As we continue on, there's quite a good one here being Africa, where there's quite a number of different variants with this particular one. This one here, not the rarest out of them, but still nice to have it. And then we have a look at some of the other titles, and these two were given to me from my friend Figsy. There's a Chinese version of Dynasty Warriors 6, and we also have the Japanese edition. So there's a gold and silver spine on these two, which is just really stands out when you're looking back on the collection. The next standout game as we look through would probably be Resistance Fall of Man. That's one of my favourite titles. That's a really cool looking cover with the Japanese on there. The next shelf we have Resistance 2. This one's really cool. It's very different to the standard Resistance 2, I should say the power cover. We also have Silent Hill Downpour. And then we head into one of my favourite sections, being the Platinum section of the collection. And these were games that were best sellers on the PS3 and they got given these special silver covers. And I just love them, and I've put them right next to my Japanese games just to kind of separate them from the main collection. And then we start off with 007. I know for a fact that I'm missing a couple of 007 titles. I think they must be somewhere in the house. The next shelf we have a couple of Aussie AFL games. This one here, AFL Live 2, came with a special steelbook as well, which is pretty cool. And then we have quite a few Assassin's Creed titles. I must admit I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan, but I do have a lot of games in there. We've got Agrest Generations of War, which was a bit of a launch title from memory. It's quite a hard one to get a hold of in the wild especially. And then don't laugh guys, I have not one but two copies of Barbie Puppy Rescue, one being the pink spine edition, this one here sealed, and I also have the blue spine edition. Quite expensive both those titles and hard to come by. Next we have the Arkham City Steelbooks, where I believe there was 5 different variants of this particular one, which I do want to hunt down. I have the Penguin edition and I also have the Two-Face edition, so these are really cool to have in my collection. Then we have Battle Fantasia, a PAL exclusive fighter title in 2D graphics. It's quite a good title and highly recommend that one there. On the next shelf we have a sought after anime game title being Bleached Soul Resurrection. This one's a little bit harder to find. Haven't played it myself, so if you have, please let me know if you enjoyed it. And then we have lots and lots of Call of Duty. One of the sort of harder ones to find is Call of Duty 3. That one was the most expensive one I think I've had to pick up in recent times. And then we have a lot more Call of Duty flowing through onto the next shelf. And then we have Colin McRae Dirt. And another sought after title within the letter C, I guess, is the Cross Edge one here. And yeah, that's very hard to come by. If you see it for cheap, pick it up. Highly recommend. Then we have the letter D section, and under D we have a terrible game, but one that's hard to find, being Doctor Who The Eternity Clock. Do not recommend anyone to play that, very buggy. Then we have Digimon All-Star Rumble, which is kind of like Super Smash Bros. Really fun title. And then we finish off the shelf with some of my favourite titles being the Dynasty Warrior Gundam titles. And on the next shelf I noticed I mixed some D titles in between E and F, so I'll have to fix that up. I've got lots of Formula 1 titles which I really enjoy, Far Cry, which is one of my favourite series. A whole heap of FIFA titles on the next shelf, and we have two different variants of Ferrari Challenge. This one here, and we also have the other one here as well, which I think is like an Australian PAL copy, I'm not 100% sure. And continuing on, we have some God of War in there, one of my favourite series, Gran Turismo. Next shelf we've got a harder to find one, which is Iron Sky Invasion. There's actually a movie related to that as well, which is meant to be a bit of a cheesy one, so I'm hoping to watch that at some stage. Then American exclusive, Jimmy Johnson's Anything with an Engine, bit of a harder one to find. And then we have this one here, which is a bit of a pricier one, being Katamari Forever. If you see that out in the wild, pick it up. Then we finish off with some Lego titles. Continuing on, we have some Little Big Planet, one of my favourite series being Lost Planet, a couple of titles in there, some Madden NFL, and a couple of Ultimate Marvel Alliance games. Finishing off with Mass Effect and Medal of Honor. Then as we go through, lots of Metal Gear Solid, Mirror's Edge, Motorstorm. We also have a couple of titles here, Move Street Cricket 1 and Move Street Cricket 2, which were Indian exclusive games. We then go through, have a lot of more sports titles and some Need for Speed. Pac-Man, we have some more football, soccer titles, Persona 4, and finishing off through this here with a lot of Ratchet & Clank, one of my favourite series. We also have a fishing game in here that I know MarktheMartian would love. We have Resistance titles, and we got Resident Evil, Red Dead Redemption, limited edition there. And then on this side we've got a lot of SingStar games. And for those looking to do the hot potato, we have the Wiggle SingStar games, which are always a treat to play. Finishing off with a few Sega titles. Shelf got some standouts being Silent Hill, we have Saint Row titles, got Sonic Generations, Splatterhouse, Sleeping Dogs. Skidoo is a bit of a hidden gem, that's a really fun game if you haven't played that. It's quite a hard one to pick up as well. A lot of naughty Tiger Woods games. We also have Tom Clancy's, lots of games in there as well. A couple of awesome Tekken games, my favourite series that has graced the PlayStation, and we also have some Time Crisis games as well. Got a few King of Fighters games in there, The Incredible Hulk, and then one of my favourite collections being all of my Uncharted games. I have got lots of them, some of them being like dual packs and collector's editions. We also have Oblivion and Skyrim, and then we have a few more football titles, and then sort of finishing off with Virtual Fighter. And then we have the remainder of the titles and some games that I still need to find cases for. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed what was a look at my PS3 collection. By no means has this collection cost me a lot of money. If you're looking to, get into collecting for the PS3, it definitely is the best sort of time to do it. Majority of the games from really only cost me maybe at most maybe $5 to $10 each, which is still a lot of money for a lot of people, I know. But compared to trying to collect things from the modern era of gaming with Xbox One and PS4, it's quite a fun thing to collect for. So hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a big thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, fools. See you later.